Welcome to Active Studying, a college readiness and student success workshop module. When it comes to studying, students fall into the habit oftentimes of using passive study techniques that have a hit or miss result later when it's time to remember for tests. A student may read, take notes, and review for hours, but do so without really thinking about the material they're trying to learn. With a few simple changes, you can become more mindful as you study by using active study techniques instead. Learning takes time and requires repetition, meaningful repetition, in order to remember something for later. This is why active study techniques are important. Building up memory muscle in your brain works like this. Each time you engage in a learning activity, neurons fire in your brain and form connections. If this happens only once, learning is weak. For example, think about math class, when your teacher shows you how to do a problem on the board, and then you aren't able to do it later on your own. If neurons get fired up multiple times, as when you solve 10 similar math problems yourself, the result is likely a long-term memory trace. That long-term memory trace is what your brain follows when it's time to recall information later for a test. To help your brain fire up and accept new material faster, try using study techniques that involve your senses. As you choose your study techniques, keep this in mind. You only remember about 10% of what you read, 20% of what you hear, and 30% of what you see. However, you'll remember 50% of what you hear and see together, 70% of what you say, and 90% of what you do or practice. Rehearsing in a meaningful way is key to deep learning, and so is having a learning strategy. Your learning strategy should begin before class and continue during and after class, and it should include a plan for review and self-testing for exams. Let's look at some examples of active study techniques that you can use as you learn, and then what you can do later for review and self-testing. Here are some ideas of study strategies to boost your memory from the Academic Skills Center at Oregon State University. Number 1, go to class and take notes. Then review those notes as soon as you can after class, reciting what you've learned aloud. Weekly, try to teach concepts you've learned to someone else to ensure recall later. Try making flashcards. Use them for key concepts, names, formulas, dates, definitions, etc. Use color, draw pictures, summarize content in your own words. Remember to use your voice and recite definitions aloud to your cat or a friend, as this technique forces you to think about what you are saying, and you'll know if you have it down or not. Try creating a concept map to map out ideas and information. Then practice talking through the concepts and their relationships to one another without looking when you study for a test. Try making up test questions from your notes, the textbook, or even the chapter summary. When it's time to study for a test, practice answering the questions and then verify your answers. You might try chunking information by using acronyms. Chunking means sorting a large piece of information into a smaller form so it's easier to remember. For example, SMART is an acronym for goal-setting steps. Each of the letters stands for something. S for specific, M is for measurable, A is for attainable, R is for relevant, and T is for time limited. You're taking a large piece of information and chunking it down into a smaller form, making it easier to remember. And last, you want to try studying in groups. A few other quick tips to help you carve out meaningful study time. If you only have 1 hour of study, try using the first 45 minutes to keep up with reading and other assignments, such as writing or doing math problem sets. Use the last 15 minutes to actively review and practice the previous week's material. Remember that it's important to revisit a prior week's problems, concepts, or topics, because revisiting these will help you establish and retain them in your long-term memory. And this is an example of a weekly flow chart for studying, and it embraces a lot of the strategies we talked about today, such as going to class, and then while you're in class taking notes, and then within 24 hours reviewing and editing those notes so they're nice and clear when you go back to them later. It's also a good time to formulate questions that you might want to use later for practice. and then doing homework, outlining major topics. And remember, it's important to review and integrate what you've learned. So you want to take what you did with your homework and see if you can relate it back to the text that you read or notes you took in class or discussion you had in class. In summary, active studying builds brain muscle and builds memory pathways to help you remember for tests. You want to try to engage your senses as you study to learn more deeply, and you want to think about how to connect with the content. If you can see it, hear it, say it, or write it, you'll probably be good to go. You can get more help by connecting with these Lakeland resources available to students. If you have a question, email it to studentsuccess@lakelandcc.edu. This video was produced by Lakeland Community College, Department of College Readiness and Student Success.